a fee on initially, and if they get a refund, then it goes back onto the buyer. But that's my suggestion is 8 and 5 for the ticket prices. But I wanted your guys' say in it. If you guys have any questions or comments about that, that'd be it for that. We had a fall activities meeting last week, and it was good. It was a good turnout. There's some things that I'll kind of tweak for next year, but for the most part, I felt like it was good. Get the coaches a chance to do some things with the parents that they typically maybe didn't get to do right away, or they had to do it on their own. So I thought that was good. And then, like I said, we hired some new faces, or some old faces too, to some volleyball, football, and dance. And then we still have 2 coaching positions need to be filled: boys basketball C squad, and then track kind of assistant ×2 for that. So it's kind of a summary of what we got going on for the month of July and August here. So any comments, questions, concerns?
So,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say with the ticket prices, 8 is pretty consistent across the rest of the
They're
country.
that pretty much. I don't know anybody that is lower than that right now. The student one is, I would say, majority of them are 6, few that are 5.
Just want to clarify, because you said no cash, but we are accepting cash, but then we're going to use that one
Yes,
generic.
it's still going to be an
card.
online. There's still going to be a fee attached to it.
With some of the sports, if there's volunteers that are coming, is that something that also gets approved by, is that something that has to be approved by us or not?
We haven't.
Volunteer positions,
Mhm.
are all those on here?
Not the volunteers ones.
They were in July.
The July one had all the volunteers that I know of. The only one that might have got on there but I don't know if it needed to be on there, was Jim Trulock. He's considering it to help out football. And I keep on asking. I'm at a coaches meeting, one tomorrow, and then another one in service, to make sure I verify volunteers that I've been telling them they have to come get their background checked if they've are considered to come back too. So most of the same volunteers that were on there last year are coming back.
Okay.
But the new ones, like Tyler Tundrum, I think he was on last week, but I don't know. I'll double check on that one.
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
he was the one that I was thinking.
So yeah, I would have to add him to that. So
Okay.
so that would be the only one that I have to add.
We'll add him in September.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't the volunteer coaches still have to do that coaches training,
Mhm.
the video series and stuff?
Minnesota Science League, they'll do
Yeah.
the thing though. They already got that associated with their account. More, like I said, Tyler will have to get one set up, and Jim will have to do one too if they want to keep on coming back. So yeah.
Thank you for catching.
I guess I'm okay with the 8 and 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Try
it
to
is
keep it
consistent.
consistent.
Do we have to move that to a new business item to vote on it, or?
I don't- I think you can just agree and set it, because he could technically just set it without,
Just as a matter of.
Yeah.
Okay.
just wanted everybody,
Just if there was any blowback or anything like that, just wanted you guys to be aware before we pushed it forward.
The senior citizen number is 5, and it has been free,
It's-
correct?
Well, so senior citizen always is matching what the student is if you're away, but if you're McCray or a person that has a kid in the school, then you can get that senior citizen pass.
Okay.
And that's another thing that we're figuring out how we're gonna develop it. It's gonna be like a voucher type of thing that we have to set people up with, and
Okay.
it's gonna become.
But our home crowd senior citizen is still
You might want to add that, if word gets out, people might get a little.
Yeah, it's one of those things we don't really advertise senior citizen free. It's we have a pass on bound is and I think I don't know if there's not very many people that know about the pass, but maybe we can make sure we add that to different locations on there, as is McRae, Senior Citizen.
Yeah, since it's a new system, I think it'd be good to just
Yeah.
post that at least for a while.
Well, they'll just show up with the card we've given them in the past, probably, and then we'll have us,
There's quite a few that still have that, whatever card it
and then
was.
we'll just have a way to scan something.
And then we have it all figured out with the students too, how that's gonna work, or that's the,
For the voucher type of thing, yeah, we figured out how we bulk upload. That one's a lot easier for the students because they're registering. The one that we were a little bit weary of was teachers and bus drivers and coaches. They're not all in the system, they have to get an account, so we're gonna bulk upload them with their email, and if they have an account, great. If they don't, then they can set up one through that, and that's how they're gonna get their pass.
Any other questions for Dirk? No, all right. Okay, Todd, you are next.
All right, I gave you a lot of information, so I'll just kind of highlight a couple and then I'll try to answer any questions that you have afterwards. I think Mr. Wheatley's gonna talk a little bit about our back to school schedule, but I think we're both pretty pleased with how our building's been cleaned and prepped and ready for the start of the school year, and both excited to get our staff and our students especially back in the building. It's awful quiet without them. READ-ACT, we're on kind of the home stretch. So we've got a couple that will be in phase 1. We'll go into that phase 2 for the middle school and high school staff. And by the end of this year, we should have all of those boxes checked for that. We'll continue to use the FastBridge and CAPTI as our reading screenings for this year. New math standards are coming out in 27, 28. So this year on the MCAs, they had some sample math questions on it. We'll see more of those again this year. We sent some of our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade math teachers to some workshops this year to kind of get their feet wet with the new standards. So we got kind of a running start on that. And then we've got some staff development in our back to school workshop on those new math standards. So we'll work with our elementary, middle school, and high school to kind of get a head start on those standards. So we're pretty excited about that. Mr. Holmes and myself went to data mine today in Marshall. So unfortunately, we can't really share any data with you until September 30th when those become public. But we've seen some nice gains, and what we're really pleased with is that we're getting kids to change categories in the right direction. So we're moving up. We're moving those partials to meets and those meets to exceeds. So we'll be able to share that in some more detail in November. We should get our results sometime mid-September as well. So right now, those haven't been released yet, but we're excited to see the growth that we've made with the READ-ACT and kind of the emphasis that we put on reading. Hopefully, it's come to fruition. The student support and culture, that's going to be one of our goals for this year. Up down to the bottom one, we obviously want to make sure that we support our students academically, but also socially. So we'll continue to do character education one day each week. And then although it's been done in many classrooms, we want to be a little more intentional, have that daily check-in to make sure we can build that sense of community and strong culture across all grade levels. I think Deb asked a question a few months ago about, why are we seeing some of those students that don't feel like they're really connected or have that sense of community? So we want to be mindful to make sure that we're doing as much as we can, not just to support them with math and reading and science and social studies, but also to make sure they feel like they belong here and they've got a connection, an adult that they can trust, and a good support, kind of friendship peer group as well. So we'll be a little more intentional with that this year. We really want to kind of dive a little bit deeper on our tier 1. That's that core in instruction. That's kind of where it all starts. So we want to make sure that we can kind of differentiate some instruction there. And I think by departmentalizing, we're going to be able to clean that up and be able to get a little more focused on kind of a consistent quality, kind of tier 1 instruction. Again, that would be in those 4 cores: math, reading, science, social studies as well. And then just want to be as efficient as we can with that win time. So we've got a 30-minute block both for math and for reading, where we get to kind of focus on just kind of what the data shows those students need. So putting them into smaller groups and then kind of meeting them where they're at, trying to close that gap so that our tier 1 can be a little more consistent across the board. So those are the goals that we have moving into this school year. And staffing, it was close, but we are staffed now. So We had a little bit of a wrinkle last week, but I think we were able to make that change with a real quality candidate in place. So I feel really good about the staff that we have coming in, both with our pairs. We hired a couple new paraprofessionals and our 5 new teachers as well. So I'm really excited to get things rolling this year.
You know, when it comes to taking those MCAs and those other tests, kids don't have to take them, right? Can they opt out?
Yeah.
Are we having a lot of people, kids opting out or not?
Not many.
Okay. It sounds like in some other districts,
Yeah.
there are large numbers are opting out.
I would say less than 10 and probably closer to 5 in the elementary maybe. I would say it's a pretty minimal amount.
Oh, okay, okay, good. Okay.
In the entire elementary?
Todd, can
You know, that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah.
The new teacher, where does she live?
She lives in Maynard.
Maynard?
Oh,
Yeah.
close by.
So, yeah, has some experience, 9 years in the Wilmer district. Her husband is a graduate of McCray, and just always wanted to get into our district. So it worked out, just
Yeah.
right place, right time, and I think she's going to be a real asset for us here. So.
Just wondering if we ever do any sort of like, I know they turn in their notice of resignation, any sort of exit survey to find out why are folks leaving our district? I mean, it could be moving, married, you know,
Yeah.
all those different things, retired. Do we have any of that data at all, or?
We haven't, but it's certainly something that we can look into. In this case, it was one of our new hires, and she had been, they had some cuts at her old school, and then late in the summer, they brought one position back, so she reapplied for basically her old job, and then got it. Now, there is a deadline in place, so we don't have to let them out of that contract unless we can find a suitable replacement for them, and that's what we told her. But I think we were very fortunate that we found someone just as skilled or better. So we were able to hire someone and then let her out of her contract. And now the ACGC principal owes me at least.
I think that's a good question though too, Deb, just with, like, with negotiations,
Mhm.
contract, like, we look at numbers and wages, and that's what we see, but like, and people, there's always gonna be turnover,
Right.
there's no people, but is it compensation, is it time off, is it, you know, 'cause, I mean, we negotiate these things, but,
Right, right.
you know, it'd be nice to have data to show what is really impacting the turnover.
Right.
Have you looked at the people that have kids in the school district, but that are teachers outside of that? Like, do you know all those? Because I would think that would be a good core group to reach out to right away. You know, they're probably trying to get in, and so I don't know if that's something too.
Yeah. Guess I'm not aware of any, but you guys probably have.
At the high school, at the high school level, and that's one of my go-to, granted, it's one in my 10th year here, I know who to go to ask and say, okay, who would you know, Laura Brisley or Sarah Mox, I mean, they're easy go-tos for me to go, who's in the district, I'm not gonna say who, but I can think of one off the top of my head that I've been trying a couple of years now to try and get to come, and again, sometimes people are just so comfortable in the district they're in, regardless of where they live,
Right.
that they just choose to stay.
All right, any other comments or questions? All right, thanks, Todd. All right, Jen.
Awesome, thank you. Quick updates for the beginning of the year prep. We got our para conference coming up on Wednesday. If you remember back to the opening of the elementary, we had a great big para conference here. Janelle Field, if that name rings a bell for you, she was the one who organized it. And the service co-op liked what she did so much that they took it and they decided to have it in Boomer. And so we're in, I think, the 3rd or 4th year now where they've been running the conference solely themselves and appeal to more of a regional group. So we've got a group going there, and so we'll be represented well. We have our new teacher workshop on the 18th, and a little bit of a change here. Jen Van Epps, who has been a launch, I think she's done every new teacher workshop since I've been here. She's part of our SOTA program and one of the supervising teachers. They just flopped the date on her, and so she can't be at the new teacher workshop. So Sonia Stark is going to be running it on her own. So we had the option of changing the date a little bit to try and make it work, but we just figured let's keep it where it is. with the new teachers coming in on a day that we already told them when it would be. Keep it keep the continuity there as much as possible. So we're going to be rolling with just one proctor. Fall workshops, ready to rock and roll on that. Mr. Bertram took control of the agenda for it this year and has a good one going. We just got that sent out to everybody today, so they should all have the ins and outs of that. And then we're rolling a little bit early again, like we decided on the calendar, rolling on September 1st as the first day of school. Remember, it's a 3-day week that first week, and I've already got our first evacuation and lockdown drill scheduled for the 3rd. So always good to make sure we get the biggies taken care of right out of the gate. Handbook. So I just wanted to address that real quick. Again, two of the more minor things of all the things we've been going through over the years. We're looking at changing our advisory, so we're actually sliding advisory from the very beginning of the day down to first hour. Now, I'm hoping all of you probably said, why they're doing that. I'm going to tell you why right now, because we found that kids coming in, they looked at advisory as a not important part of the day. The number of times when it came to truancy, we actually found that kids were skipping because they didn't think it was part of the school day. And it's an important thing for us to be able to give some of that contact time, even if it's for 12 minutes, to be able to have some of those meetings. Mrs. Brisley uses it a ton for the different testing and different speakers she's got coming in to be able to have that captive audience. And then it's good for the classes to be able to meet and do any kind of arranging activities, being able to have meetings during that time also. So, the need is there to keep it. So we're just trying to be a little bit flexible and see what changing it a touch will do for us. One hiccup we know we're going to have to work through is after the first quarter, we're going to have to figure out what to do with senior cribs, because that's always been a time we let the kids come in late. So, good. We'll get that figured out. And then, of course, the change in the cell phone policy that we discussed in June. So I did get that letter out. We had a little bit of a hiccup with Infinite Campus and the way the calendar is set up on that. So I wanted to get it sent out at the beginning of July. It took a little bit of time working with campus to get it figured out how we could do it. So I got that sent out in July. So we should be good to go. Kids, when we have our back to school lyceum with all the rules, and we'll reaffirm them, and I'll make sure I have a copy of it so they can. This is not a surprise. Your parents should have talked to you about this. And then staffing, we're good to go on our front also, except for Paris with the SOTA program and some other personnel changes that happened, resignations and the like. We're a little bit behind on that. We'll get it figured out. I've already hired one. I had another interview today, and I offered one that unfortunately was not able to accept. But we get the applicants in. We just put a new Facebook post out on the 6th, I believe. And so they're rolling in slowly, but we'll get it taken care of. And I just want to reassure you that if you have any concerns about our para coverage and what that means for IEPs, the state understands the situation when it comes to paras. When I talk about the state, I mean NDE, around the state, and how difficult it is for school districts to get paras. We have to put forth a good faith effort. And I try to reassure our staff that they're not doing anything wrong. We're not in violation of IEPs, because if the state calls, they'll talk to me and they will understand why. In the end, it comes down to me making sure that we're representing and responsibly handling the shortage. And it's not like we haven't put advertisements out. Teachers don't want to do anything wrong, so I have to reassure them that they're not doing anything wrong. That goes a long way. So we'll just keep looking, and if we'll have all those, I'm confident in that. And then just some upcoming things. It hits fast. So we got homecoming coming on week 3, and first 5-day week, and we'll get after it. So looking forward to it. And then again, as part of the handbook goes, if you have any notes, Debbie already gave me hers. If you have any notes, let me have them, and I'll be happy to look them over the rest of this week and get a final copy published so we can get it up on the website.
Did you get any pushback on the cell phone policy?
I didn't even get any side eye from anybody.
Oh, all right.
Had some kids that it was trickling down. It was trickling. It's coming. Like it was the kids that had heard a little bit about it towards the end of the year, just because it's always good to start planting some seeds. And I heard some pretty boisterous reactions. It is what it is. And in the end, Bold has switched to completely no phones, and KMS has also done the same thing. So I'll have no problem saying,
Could be worse.
yeah, you don't want to have it at lunch? Okay, fine.
Right. Well, and also, I mean, they had known in the past that we were gonna phase out that
Yes, yeah,
policy.
none of this should be a surprise.
Right.
And it is so beneficial for the kids. They don't know it, but they don't need to know. It's gonna be.
We're the adults and we say so.
Yeah.
With, open house, that's when we're doing the pictures too, right?
Yes.
What are the odds that that's gonna go smooth this?
If we get the right number,
I think you're, yeah.
probably better than it has been.
As long as one of them doesn't get in an accident coming here.
It was one, it was backed up, and
They
then
don't all take one
one
at the same
got a
time.
car accident. I'm just aggressive.
And I think they know that they're on their last chance. Pull this stuff. We've had 2 years in a row of that.
I talked to the Jocelyn rep at my principal's conference expressly about the displeasure at the people. They had been operating as separate entities within Jocelyn's, and now they're all rolled back into one.
Sure.
And I just shook up to them. I said, "You're going to lose us if we have another year like this, because it's been too many in a row." And they get it. I don't think they quite knew how bad it was.
So, you know, it's supposed to be a fun time, the kids have some angst
Yeah.
and wiggles and about the whole thing, and then stand in line for 40 minutes or whatever.
And the fact that it's from noon to 6 this year, there's gonna be a lot of people in that last hour, I think, that are gonna need to get all their things done and aren't gonna be willing to stand in line for an hour.
That's why we have that extra retake day. I mean, it's the likelihood that something's going to come up. We all know it's there.
It is nice to get the pictures out of the way.
Oh, it's great.
And it's
It's
hard
great.
to send your little kids off on the bus, so with their nice hair. You guys are get back.
You had fun before.
Sweaty.
Or what you have for lunch.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, anything else for John?
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, we're green, we're a floating head.
All right.
Well, we're gonna start off with, you all know we have the plot for FFA out back. During July, we had some work done by a local company, so it could be tiled. And the students are the ones that explained to me, by doing this tiling, we're actually gonna be able to get more class time out there in the fall. And most importantly to them, they're gonna generate higher revenue for their trips based on the company, and it's Freeman. But I thought we could just watch, we're not gonna watch all 9 minutes. But this is a video from Next Level. But you can see that's all our property that's going for the FFA students. Let's see. I don't have a lot of pictures. I wasn't gonna get the crop duster or the drone and put them in for you, so you can just see the amount of work they did this summer. This was, once again, no cost to the school, just our community coming together for our students. So any questions about that? Oh, it's a very nice video. It's on YouTube if you want to watch all 9 minutes. It's not all about us, but they did a nice job. This is community ed brought in some college players and ran a camp for our students in volleyball. Very well attended. This was outside. They had their football camp. You can see the kids out there working. They had good numbers. There's 2 groups. And then this was captain's practice has started up for volleyball. So you can see this was one morning. I guess they got here today at 6. I don't get here that early. I get right around 7. But it was packed again this morning. So they're doing great things. Our kids are active. This is, as you know, we have students in the STEM camp. We have teachers working at the STEM camp. It's a big part of our school that's going to lead into our middle school robotics program with our new coach, Greg. So they're going to, middle school STEM will go 2 days a week, we're hoping, and go to 3 or 4 weekend tournaments as Greg develops a budget. But they had a good time. Some of our students are out competing nationally. And this is Kinsley. She's going to be a 6th grader, and she finished 4th place in their show But it was nice that, she sent that, her mom sent that to me, just to show all the good things they're doing. Kim maybe could tell us exactly how you get fourth place in this event at another time. Here's the outdoor project. You've been getting pictures from me on it, but you can just, they've been doing very fast work, but it's high quality. I've been out there a few times. They're working very hard. You can see the one goal post is still broke. But the maintenance team there and in the building, Noel shared that they're on schedule, ready to go for school. We have one still leak in the front of the building that's going down in the auditorium, but they're gonna come at the end of September and early August on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, and fix it. We'll just cone it off to make sure that gets sealed up. Here's our new picture with our new goalpost. That's why it's bigger. But you can see it's all wrapped. The one side's almost fully done. And you'll see our goalposts now are 10 feet shorter. We're hoping that'll help with the wind so they don't keep getting knocked over.
Well, maybe the building will block some.
Yes. More of the work, we talked with Mr. Trulock last with the fence project. So you can see that's the double gate he talked about, that whole side. And they've already had some stuff stored in there, some bleachers from the field that gets locked up. It'll help keep kids out next to the fence, but provide some added storage as needed. This is, as you can see, one of our incoming students and school board member were in a local play, but our kids, not only do they do events here, but now we're expanding to Wilmer. I heard it was outstanding, and it wasn't just these two, but the other ones had so much makeup, I couldn't tell who was who on the YouTube that was sent to me. So,
Yeah, City's stealing the show.
yeah, but that was nice. And then at the football, during our football games, Raymond Ambulance and all the local ones, they take turns, and sometimes we have two come and work the games. That's gonna be by the scoreboard now. And we recently, I believe this is the 50-year, award. It's in the paper, but we wanna highlight everything our communities are doing for the school. So, a lot of great things happened last month. Our kids are active in the community, outside of our community, and we're just lucky we have the amount of community support we do. Any questions?
With the land sale, go to the rest of your report, is that, progress and hiccups with that for Maynard?
It's with the lawyers still.
Yeah, I reached out again because it's been a few weeks and I was getting frustrated. So I emailed him and said, hey, where's our purchase agreement? And so I got a reply back today. We're working on it. We should have it to you by the end of the week. Just take the ones from 2 years ago, change the name and be done. But, so hopefully by the end of this week, and then we can get that moving too.
That'd be good.
I know.
And that's one of the reasons why we're looking at, you guys approved us to use a different law firm. But as we transition, that's one of the reasons. It's Kim's very patient, and she calms me. I just keep going, Kim, where are we? So, because I'm sure the seller wants to be done, we want to get done with it. We offered the lights to a school for $5,000, but just for the lights. They have to do everything else. They still didn't get back. So, but if it's sale,
Well, once the sale's done, they're gonna be out of
Yep.
luck, so.
I'm just trying to recoup the $1,500 we spent, get a little extra, but
Well, at least we got a bid on the property.
yes.
Yeah, I was pleased.
And we had nothing to do with the article in the West Central Tribune about that sale. They didn't contact us. Did everybody get to see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was about, that, they used his name, so the gentleman that wanted to buy it, they were gonna buy it and put in housing. And they made this, and then he never put in a bid. So there was this big article about what could have happened. And now it's going to a new buyer.
Is that the buyer that wants to start a business?
Or expanding.
Expand?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, anything else for, we got some board discussion coming up anyway at 6.3. Okay, thanks, Adam. 6.2 committee, I don't think there was any committees that met since last meeting. Anybody's got anything? I guess the only committee item would be that the building is up and being completed.
It's nearing completion.
Yeah. So, siding and I suppose overhead doors, wiring?
I don't know if the doors have been secured or if somebody has been.
Hired to do that or whatever.
They're here or ready to be installed.
Oh,
I was just out there this afternoon.
okay.
And they did have a few things, that we had talked about a little bit with the builder. There are 2 petitions in that building, one for track, one for football, and one for like a team room.
Right,
Between the 2 storage units, there is potentially a spot to put another overhead door between the 2.
oh, okay.
They framed it for just a regular size garage door, and we can add it later if
Okay.
we so desire. And they have to wait for electrical to be done before they can put the sheathing on the partitions between the spaces
For the inspector to come.
to get the wire run and stuff for that.
All right, well, it's coming along, so we can use it soon.
Yep.
All right, 6.3, board discussion, mentioned the sale of the football field. Okay, the permanent school fund. We put article in the paper, right? It's on the
It's
website.
going to be coming out, it hasn't come out yet, is it? So this next week, I think she's gonna put it
Oh,
out,
okay.
but yeah,
But I mean, it's gonna be.
Yeah, there will be one, yeah.
We did the interview.
yeah.
Right, okay. All right, so that'll be coming up on the election. Is it mentioned on the school website too? Is there anything about it on there?
Once school starts and we get closer, then we're gonna have more. And everybody's welcome at open house if you'd like to come on the 26th and sit at a table and hand out flyers and a non-descriptive, you gotta be very neutral. Just here's some information, educational, you're welcome to come and,
That's right.
but
We should read this.
if you're with your families and you're busy, that's okay too. But you're welcome as always to come.
Okay, then we have, the board authority renewal for the operating levy, but that's part of our, resolution in the next business item section, so. Unless anybody's got any questions about that. All right, now we'll go on to business item 7.0. I need a motion to approve the resolution for the board renewal of an expiring referendum revenue authorization. Motion by anyone?
That will.
Mark, okay. Second,
A second.
John. See, any discussion or questions on that?
So this is basically a revoke and renew, right?
Or is it just a continuation, how they call it? Yeah,
The next 10 years, it has to be brought to the voters again.
right, right. There's no changes in the amount, correct?
Just inflation.
Just the inflation that's built in, okay. Okay. All right, Mark, if you want to maybe just summarize the
Do we have the resolution?
Yeah.
I have a paper one if you
Send
wanna,
it over there, all right.
it's, yeah. But you don't have to read the whole thing,
Yeah.
just summarize.
Yeah.
So. What's up? So resolution authorizing renewal of an expiring referendum revenue authorization. Be it resolved by School Board of Independent School District 2180, McCray, Public Schools, Chippewa, Candy, Ojai, Renville Counties. The district is as follows. Let's see here. I'm gonna summarize this. I'm really trying.
I got it.
So,
One of the last paragraphs is
Yeah.
right there, yeah.
the board convened a regular meeting for the purpose of discussing a proposed renewal of the expiring referendum in accordance with subdivision 9B and allowing public testimony on the proposed renewal. The expiring referendum has not been previously renewed under subdivision 9B. And authorization of renewal, the board hereby determines and declares it as necessary and expedient for the district to renew the expiring referendum in the same per pupil amount as is current in the expiring referendum. The renewed referendum revenue authorization will be applicable for 10 years, beginning with taxes payable 2028, unless otherwise revoked or reduced as provided by law. Effective date, this resolution becomes effective 60 days after its adoption.
Right, sounds good. Okay, we need a, individual vote on this, so roll call. How do you vote, Ben?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm a yes too, so that's good.
So Kim, what is the total amount?
It's about 115,000.
Okay.
And then depending on how they adjust for inflation and enrollment.
All right, that was 7.1. 7.2, I need a motion to approve the 2026-27 student handbook. John
I'll second it.
and Deb. All right, any discussion or questions on that?
Are we saying apart from anything that needs to be?
There's some
grammatical
corrections, yeah.
Yeah, there were some really small things, but otherwise it was basically very similar to last year.
Sure.
That one made me smile.
All right, those in favor of approving the 26-27 handbook, say aye. Aye, those opposed, nay. All right, 7.3 is a motion to approve the resolution for Adam Holm to be identified as, or to be the identified official with authority, and that's part of the NEA's or Minnesota NDE, yes, requires that, and basically it has access to their computer software program, right? You will be the person authorized to do that. And I don't have anything.
There isn't really, so I think that covers
That's
it.
pretty much covers
I
it.
will make that motion then.
You will have the password then. Yeah, I need a second on that. All right. Those in, this is again a roll call, for Adam Holm to be the identified official with authority. Let's go here, Ben,
Yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well.
So the Minnesota Department of Education requires you to be an Iowa.
Doesn't have to be him, it has to be someone.
It's a
You
small
need to
number.
be an Iowa.
It's a small number.
Yeah. You'd be all over that. Dramatic clear, red pen, red clear.
All right. Okay, 7.4, we have another resolution to approve accepting donations from the Parents Club for school year 26-27, which I believe is about $25,000 worth of things they're going to do here, they're donating. And $250 from the Crete Evangelical Lutheran Church, I believe that was for school supplies.
From our email that was requested at the board meeting,
Okay,
so.
so I need a motion for that. I'll make that motion. We need a second.
I'll second.
Is that you, John? Great. So that's what was involved with that, and we thank them very much for that, and that was a nice presentation with that last one, the Veterans Club was here, so.
One question, even though we have two of the board members are on the 2180, would we like the same like opportunity for them to present? Are we okay? Just, I mean, you guys presented, so I went to them and asked them if they wanted a chance.
I don't think so at this point.
We're okay?
Yeah, we got a meeting coming up in the next couple of weeks.
If they want to, just let me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
They're nice. It's nice to people to see where all their money's going
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
We get a whole wall.
You got the one.
I'm just wondering if we should be doing like a thank you note from the board. If we could write a thank you note to those folks that give us donations. I mean,
We
forget
do.
what we are,
We do.
They get a thank you letter,
okay?
well, not from you guys, though, from me and the school,
From the district per se.
yeah. So if you'd like something more, like, I don't know yet what that cost, what Bremen's donation's gonna be. They kinda just worked with FFA, but I'm sure that has to be a very generous donation,
Right.
once you look at that drone video.
Well, maybe it's just okay to, when you write the letter, just to say on behalf of the board as well. You don't include it all in one. So. Okay, we have to do a roll call on motion 7.4 to approve the resolution accepting donations from the Parents Club and Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church. I'll go first. Am I yes? John?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Deb?
Yes.
Tim? Okay. Passed and adopted. All right, now, at 8.0, we've got to the point where we're going to be closing the session for the superintendent evaluation, and I'm gonna need a motion to close. And then, let's see, I have to go through a few other items here. This is as per the Minnesota statute 13D and that open meeting law and our policy 205. So we will be closing the meeting for the superintendent evaluation, and then we'll be reopening the meeting to come back and adjourn the meeting. That's what's gonna happen. And the meeting is gonna be recorded, but the recording is not available to the public. So, I guess everybody will be excused. We're not going to be doing any more business after we come back from the evaluation. So, I need a motion though to close the session.
I'll make that motion that we close the meeting at 6:45.
Okay, Deb, a second?
One second.
Was that you doing it? Right. Those in favor of closing this, closing the meeting and have a closed session, say aye. Aye, those opposed, nay. All right, that is happening. Ben, you seconded that? Yeah.